I helped these e-commerce brands generate an extra $309,000 in extra revenue only from their email campaigns. That's gonna be around $3.6 million in extra annual revenue coming from the email list alone. Today I'm gonna show you how I did it and how I took them from pretty much making around 150K to over 300K from campaigns per month by improving your email campaigns. Let's get right into it. So I just want to show you what changed, because technically we went from 170K per month to over 309K per month, which again is gonna be like almost 2x in just 7 months. So the main things that changed and allowed us to hit record month for them were, first of all, list growth, then content and frequency, copy and designs, and then strategy and data analysis. All of that played a role in us improving their results. And we're also testing a lot of things for them for campaigns. If you want to see how we run A/B tests and the exact copy and paste tests that we run for them, there's going to be a link below this video for a free guide showing you how to run those tests, what we test, what are the variables, how to make sure you're choosing the right winning variation, and so on and so on. Again, it's going to be linked below this video, completely free. Make sure you get it. But now let me start with list growth, because most brands think that list growth will only impact their flows. Okay, more signups means more people entering the flows, and welcome flow, other flows, all of the abandonment flows as well. And of course, this is 100% true and right, but more signups also means more campaign recipients, right? Even if you exclude people from our welcome flow that are in the welcome flow from our campaigns, there's still gonna be way more recipients after like a week or so once they quit the welcome flow, okay? And this is exactly why improving your campaign's performance doesn't start with the copy yet, doesn't start with design whatsoever or segmentation. It starts with improving your sign-up rate, because if you get more people onto your list, you'll be able to just generate more revenue as you have like more recipients. Like, it's as simple as that, okay? More net opens, more net clicks, more net conversions, and revenue as a result. Here are 5 most impactful tests that you can run to improve your sign-up rate if you want to. The first one is using full screen pop-ups versus partial screen. Second one is gonna be testing your offer. So for example, 10% off versus $15 off. Then the other test is gonna be the winning offer that you currently have versus mystery offer or a discount. It may seem like too good to be true, but we've run this for a few brands recently and it worked way better than the initial offer, which was a little bit surprising, but I mean, I don't argue with data and you shouldn't do the same thing as well. Then you want to also test micro yes versus no micro yes. So this is like an additional step that we add to the pop-up, which instead of letting people know that they have a discount, they ask if they even want a discount, okay? That just usually removes the friction and makes the whole process easier for people to say yes to. And then time delay, again, one important thing that you need to test if you want to get more submissions. Again, if you want to see how we run tests for example, flows and campaigns, the guide is gonna be below this video. Let's talk about content and frequency right now, because that's another big needle mover when it comes to improving your email campaign's performance. Previously, they were sending one email campaign per week, and the content wasn't really thought through. It was a little bit random, and they were blasting the entire list, right? And sending one email per week with random content is not a good and reliable strategy to begin with. So we took the frequency to 2 to 4 emails per week, and then we mixed design-based emails with plain text ones. Then we also strategized the calendar to make sure that we have sales-focused content, but also value-based content. And the value-based content, they didn't think it would work that well, but it worked exceptionally well. People were engaging with that a lot. They were getting a lot of positive replies, and they were also making sales, which is the most important thing. Here are some of the examples of the campaigns that we run. So Mythbusters, find some of the most common myths about your product or niche and just simply bust them. Like, it's as simple as that, okay? Founder story, where the founders talks about, for example, his problems, how he came across the struggle, how he came across the solution, what is his mission, vision, and like overall, brand statement, if you will. Then we also talked about long-term benefits of using the product. Then we did like, relevant cross-sell. Okay, so if you bought X, here's how Y will fit perfectly and help you get even better results. Then we also talked about how our products are made, which is very important, because then it makes people aware how they're being created, what kind of ingredients we use, and so on and so on. Plus we also did the direct ingredients comparison, because in this case it really played a big role, because their ingredients were like supernatural, healthy and whatnot, so that would just help them stand out from the competition, and that's why we put a lot of effort into pushing those specific angles. Then copy and design is another important thing. Although if you're consistent and have good angles, it's gonna do more than having amazing copy and beautiful designs. I would even say that amazing copy will help a lot, but designs, they just need to be clear, okay? Like, don't overcomplicate it, make them congruent. But before, the copy was very basic. It was focused on the brand and products rather than the benefits that it's gonna bring to the customers. Designs weren't perfect. They weren't terrible as well, but they weren't perfect. The visuals were very nice, but the structure was lacking. And that's usually what we see whenever we audit a brand that has an internal team, or a lot of other agencies or freelancers. They don't follow the visual hierarchy, which is very, very important. They have nice visuals, so the emails may look nice, which also isn't always the case, but for this brand it was. But the structure wasn't perfect, and we've done a few things to improve their click rates tremendously. We started using the copy that talked about the problems our target audience had, just to make it more relevant, because if every single email you send is like, hey, at brand X we did XYZ, or like at brand Y our products, and like you talk about yourself only, it's not really that well, okay? I mean, unless you're a Nike, you can do stuff like that because people actually care what you do at Nike. But if you're a smaller brand, usually you would just want to mainly build relevance by showing that you understand your target audience and the problems they have, and that you're here to help them, rather than just keep pushing the product and make profit off of them, right? Like, in the end, this is what we want, but we don't want our messaging to show that, so vividly, okay? Other thing is that we follow the visual hierarchy, where we optimize the above default content to make sure that above default is just including all of the most important information for the email, and then the entire footer to maximize clicks. And what I mean by that is we had the USP icons, and then we also linked collections in the footer at the very end of the email. That always helps us get more clicks. If you combine this with the right segments based on buying behavior, you will get highly personalized emails that get opened, clicked, and convert more people. So again, previously they've been blasting to the entire list once per week, random emails, basic copy, and obviously entire list, which is not ideal strategy. We've created segments based on previous buying history, so what they bought, if it made sense to cross-sell them a product, and then if maybe they haven't bought at all. By doing it, we're able to focus on the messaging very well, because we're like, hey, if you bought X, it brings you XYZ results, but if you buy Y, it's gonna complement that and give you, 1 to 3 other results or benefits. So this is how you want to approach your campaigns, especially if you're selling stuff like, cosmetics, supplements, and so on and so on. Then strategy and data analysis. So that's what I mentioned before, that again, previously they were blasting the entire list. That was bad for deliverability and experience because it wasn't personalized, and performance suffered as a result. We first started targeting our engaged segments, and usually this would be, enough for smaller brands. If you just keep targeting your engaged segment, like, that's really mainly what you want. But this brand had a very high retention rate, meaning that 60 to 70% of their customers were coming back every single month. Even though their campaigns weren't the greatest, they're still getting a lot of return customers, just because the product was so nice and so good. That's why, like, it's always the base of retention, and having high retention, but emails obviously can help. But with that in mind, we changed our strategy, because normally, we would be sending as many campaigns to engage segments as possible. But in this case, we knew that, okay, if we convert a prospect into a buyer, they're gonna keep buying just because the product is good. Like, we obviously will support that with our flows and campaigns, but the product itself does the heavy lifting. So we focused on converting those prospects into buyers, okay, because this is what drives revenue for them. Because if we convert 1,000 people, 600 of them are gonna buy next month without extra any cost on ads or anything else. They're just gonna buy because the product is good, which means that the profit margin on the second order is super high, right? So this is what we've done. We just focused on the non-buyers, because again, you target non-buyers, convert them to subscription, and you start next month with higher monthly recurring revenue, right? So let's say you have like 100k MRR, and we convert some of the non-buyers, and next month you start with 120k MRR, which is 20% increase. The next one you would start with 144, and it just keeps growing monthly, because the product itself has very high retention. People keep buying it for a very long time. So instead of just trying to, get them to buy more or again, which they were doing themselves anyways, because we still had those cross-sell campaigns, we focused mainly on converting non-buyers. For existing buyers with active product subscriptions, we mainly focused on cross-selling them other relevant products in a subscription model as well, because we already understood the benefits of that. So it increased their LTV and also brands' monthly recurring revenue and profit margin. So again, we didn't really try to, target everyone at once. We really put more effort into targeting non-buyers and then into converting active buyer subscriptions into buying more, which helped them just increase their revenue exponentially and profit margins as well as a result. And that's really mainly what we've done. Again, this is a little bit of a higher level strategy. But if you wanted the same thing for your brand and optimize your campaigns, run a bunch of A/B tests that actually matter and get better Klaviyo performance, just more sales from your email list, there's gonna be a link below this video to this Klaviyo optimization guide. Again, copy and paste tests that we're running for 7-8-figure brands. You can just take it, copy, implement for your brand, and see the improvement and results. So make sure you get it. And I hope you enjoyed this video, because that's gonna be it for this one. And talk to you soon. Cheers.